Hi everyone, CR Game Scott here. We're back with video 4, and as you recall, we just finished calibrating our gun. Sorry if that was a little on the boring side, but one of the things you have to do in the game, and I think heading to the shooting range is interesting at least once. We didn't do too much else, got our field kit, and now we're back here playing The Vengeance, which is the second game in the Police Quest series. And well, I'm not a big fan of doing the Easter eggs or doing the ways to die or ways to foul up in a game, but let's do one thing that I would be remiss, sort of the answer to the question of what happens if you misuse your gun. And after ripping the gun from its holster, you think, not bad. And so we have to commit this act of cruelty and evil, of course, that would not be appropriate in any way in the real world, but fortunately this is a computer game. Definitely will be good for an early retirement. That definitely will be good for an early retirement. The Leiden letter says Detective Sonny Bonds goes berserk, shooting spree stuns, and you see an homage to King's Quest IV, King Near Death on the side, and we got a message that we will be get a card, I guess, at Happy Meadows for our insane actions. So we're back here. The guy's gone, but nothing's really changed, and we are going into the office right now, the homicide office, and let's see what's going on. And our captain's speaking. Bonds, we have bad news. Jesse Bains has escaped Lyndon City Jail. Dun dun dun. Not only has he escaped, the captain says, but he took the jailer as hostage. That can't be good. Bonds, I've named you and your partner Keith to a special task force with the code name of Target. Captain continues, I want you boys to answer any and all calls that might even be remotely connected to this dirtbag. Well, that's good. The captain orders you find a mugshot of that punk and get on this immediately. What I was going to say is that it's interesting because we aren't a homicide detective, and thus far it doesn't seem like there's any homicide, but I guess we have experience with Jesse Baines, so we're on the case with Keith. Keith, by the way, putting his feet up, is pretty much a worthless character in the game. He kind of does very little. He's kind of there sort of for comic relief, but mostly he's just doesn't help out at all. Kind of like Cedric the Owl in Quest for Glory 5, only much less annoying. Alright, so let's take a look at the board. You scan the bulletin board and see the shooting schedule. Below the board is a rack of car keys. The shooting schedule indicates you're behind on your scores. And we actually got a point for that, and I think the reason is it's sort of a tip that you might want to hit the shooting range to make sure you can shoot well, which we have already taken care of. So there's also some keys. So let's take keys. Remove the keys from the board. Alright, now he wants us to get on, and that's fine, but there's a few things we need to do first. This is one of the games that's CR games are all like that for the most part, that there's a few just little things you have to do, and if you just hurry through the game a little too quickly, you're going to miss things and hit dead ends. Some of the later CR games got rid of some of the dead ends that they were notorious for early on, but you'd still miss puzzles and you have to go back and do something, most likely, if you did not handle it right the first time. And you have to remember, one of the things about this game, too, is you're also in the real world, the real modern world, so there's things you need that an adventurer in King's Quest or the hero or even the guy in Gold Rush may not need to have handled, simply by virtue that he's not living in the modern world or living in the real world, as the case may be. Anyway, so let's move ahead and just open drawer. You need to unlock it first. Alright, unlock drawer. That's always annoying. I don't like these locked things. You unlock and open your drawer. Look. In drawer. Thank you letter and wallet. Take note. Take wallet. Points for each. Close drawer. No points for that. Let's look at the note. A friend from your good friend Marie Wilkins, our good friend. On it is the message, Sonny, thank you for turning my life around. So I guess there is, you're a detective. Start earning your money. Looks like the captain's not too happy. Alright, look in basket. You see a subpoena. You pick up and read the subpoena. You are commanded to appear in Division 4, Superior Court of City of Lyndon, as a witness for the people in the retrial matter against defendant Jesse Baines. Notification of time and date will follow. You can't believe what you just read. Just as the memory of this rat was passing into oblivion, he's back for retrial. Alright. So that's just what we need. You don't actually really, I guess you need to get the subpoena but for points, but you don't obviously appear in court because our But he is not going to make his court appearance. All right, let's open the drawer and open cabinet. I don't really like the specificity you need to have as well. All right, so whose file should we look at? Probably, I believe, Jesse Bains for now, at least. Look at Bains. Jesse Bains. So he's got scars caused by bullets, I think, from the last time. He was actually born in 1951, so this guy's well, assuming that he has not become younger if the game was remade, he's actually an older fellow now, pretty much approaching his 60s. Anyway, let's take a mugshot, and apologies to anyone who is on the older end watching this, that I remind you of your older age. He's only 150 pounds. I'm 150 pounds, I'm a pretty small guy, or a pretty thin guy. Of course, I'm a little taller than him, too. Anyway, but apparently he could run his own crime syndicate. I guess he wasn't known for being necessarily return file, for being particularly the muscle behind the operation in the first place. Close cabinet. Guess you don't need to be big to run your crime operation. Well, I'm glad Keith has returned to another more lazy position, I guess. Look at Captain. What's he doing? I think he's eating an ice cream cone. It doesn't really look like it. Captain Fletcher, a very large man with an overpowering presence. Yeah, I think he eats an ice cream cone all the time. That's sort of his thing. So the yellow part's the cone, and the blue part is the ice cream itself. So the GA graphics obviously had their limitations on reality. There's a lot of things like that where you just couldn't tell what exactly existed. So it's a full house here. Actually, this is one of the things, as you know, I enjoy the realism as much as possible in these games. Besides the fact there's probably isn't enough room for you to back out of this place and not bash into your car, that they actually have the cop cruiser here, and there's a cop in the building handing over evidence. So that's kind of cool. All right, we have to put the field kit in the trunk, as I recall. So let's do that. Put kit in trunk. I don't know why you have to do that. Close trunk. I mean, obviously you can't keep it in your pocket, but like with any of these Sierra games, it suspends reality, so you can put whatever you want in your pocket. And now, for some reason, you can't carry it in the car in your pocket. Unlock the door. Unbelievable. All right. Okay, it's unlocked. Oh, now I have to open the door and unlock it. That's nice. All right, open door. Keith yells, "Wait up, Sonny! What's the rush anyway?" All right, so anytime we unlock and open the door, he actually somehow knows that we are going to be able to do that. Okay, so I'm trying to think what we should do. Well, we have to go to the jail. I was gonna say something else, like, oh yes. So one of the reasons I guess they do that is you do have to lock your door afterwards, or otherwise, if you leave, I believe one of the fine fellow citizens of Lighton makes off with your car. Though I don't know if I'd really want to steal a detective's car, but in any event, they do, and you lose if that happens. So, well, let's talk to Keith. What does he have to say? Keith, as usual, takes a big puff before responding. You know, Sonny, some crazies are trying to ban smoking, but it doesn't bother you, does it? Yeah, I guess. How about it if I just smoke this one, then I'll stop for the whole day, okay? Thanks, partner. I owe you one. Yeah, Keith has a smoking problem. So, but he's kind of a bad example in the game, so I don't think he encourages kids to turn to smoking. Well, we are getting a little close. I got enough time. Let's drive to jail and end it there. How about that? Yeah, grunts Keith. Keith grabs the mic and calls dispatch. Dispatch, 53 Mary 2 is 10-8 from the office. I don't know what that means. Dispatch comes on the air responding. 52 Mary 2, 10-4. Dispatch copies 10-8 from the office. Keith keys the mic. Dispatch, 53 Mary 2. Be advised, we are en route to Lynn City Jail. Dispatch answers. 53 Mary 2, 10-4. We copy you. Are en route to Leyden City Jail. I'm going to call Leyden and Lynn the whole time, by the way. While driving to jail, Keith comments to you, Sonny, this escape has got to be a real nightmare for you. On the other hand, he continues, it must be a super nightmare for that poor correctional officer. Well, partner, Keith says, I guess this means the blank has hit the fan. I sure hope Bains lets the correctional officer go unhurt. Keith contacts dispatch. Dispatch 53 Mary 2 1097, Lynn City Jail. Dispatch response 53 Mary 2 10-4. Dispatch copies 1097 Lynn City Jail. All right. There's a little tune that plays in the background. I don't know if it was picked up on the mic every time you get moving, but okay, go to head, Sonny. I'll stay out here and have a smoke. So essentially, that's what happens all the time. Keith just disappears and doesn't do a whole lot of work. So he is not a good example either for smoking or for work ethic. And we're pretty much out of time now, so let's call it quits ourselves while Keith goes out for smoke, and we will be playing Police Quest 2. I'll still be Sierra Game Scott, and I'll see you next time. Take care.